Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, everybody. I know we're all networking, we're chatting, but if I'd request everyone, if you don't mind, to please take your seats because we do want to move along with the evening. We have a fantastic evening planned for all of you. So kindly, I see a lot of people chattering. If you can take your seats, we will be beginning very shortly. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm just going to start this evening because once I start, I'm sure all of you will take your seats. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Upeka Jain, and it is my distinct honor to be one of your MCs tonight. And to my left, we have Jamin here. And
good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome.
All right, so welcome officially to the 5th Annual IMEC Canada-India Charity Gala. Tonight we gather to celebrate a remarkable partnership between Canada and India, a journey of shared values, of innovation, cultural unity, and absolute perseverance to be the best. This evening is not just about glamour and celebration, though I know my co-MC here brings all the glamour you'll need for tonight. It's about giving back. It's about building bridges. Hello, Mayor, how are you? It's about giving back, building bridges, and making a lasting impact together. Now, I said specifically giving back because at your table you will notice that there are little donation forms, and I'm going to ask all of you to dig deep and pledge for the newly initiated Food Bank for All. It is definitely the need of the hour of Food Bank. It's unfortunate, but definitely the silver lining is that there is an organization like Food Bank for All that is giving back to the community. So over the course of this evening, we will be picking the donation cards up right before dinner. So I'd ask you all to dig deep into your hearts and wallets and give generously.
All right, and also IMEC is starting subscribers from this year as well. So that form is also right there on your table. If you can, please put down your information. During the dinner time, we'll be collecting both the forms, especially donation form and your membership form. And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I request everyone to please rise from your seats and welcome our esteemed guest with a big round of applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, a warm and heartfelt welcome to
the Honorable 22nd Prime Minister of Canada, the Honorable Stephen Harper. We also have the Acting High Commissioner of India, Mr. Chinmoy Nayak, and they're going to be joined by our host for tonight, Vipul Jani. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. All right, everyone, you can take your seats. Thank you kindly for rising. A very warm welcome once again to the Honorable Stephen Harper, our Acting High Commissioner, Chinmoy Nayak, and of course, all of our members of provincial, federal, and municipal governments. Thank you all for being here today. I asked you to sit down, but really, I was just kidding. Do you know why? Because I'm going to have to ask you to rise again for the singing of our national anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be beginning with the Indian National Anthem, followed by the Canadian National Anthem. So, once again, please rise.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Now I request all the distinguished guests, please be seated. Thank you.
And also with the Canadian National Anthem, Happy Canada Day, everyone.
On this note, bringing
It's
together...
July 1st, not June 1st. Sorry, my notes were wrong.
On this note, we are okay. We can celebrate a little early as well. Yeah, every day. It's absolutely. And now bringing together the hottest new trends and the talents of Desi fusion dance on a global scale. Bollywood Dance School is committed to connecting dance communities across the globe. Led under the artistic direction of Pardani, this Canadian dance company finds its voice by combining both their South Asian and Canadian roots. With multiple collaboration with CBC, Ham Awards, Sony Music Awards, and Yash Raj Films, and many more. Here we have Bollywood Dance School. For that first act, to enjoy with us, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Bollywood Dance School, and they're going to perform Raghupati Raghav. Let's invite them with a round of applause, everybody. Thank you. This was the mesmerizing performance by Bollywood Dance School, the grace of Kathak with the vibrant energy of Indian folk fusion, and its greatest spectacle embodies the spirit of tradition and celebration. Thank you, Bollywood Dance School. And tonight is a celebration. This incredible gathering of leaders and change makers wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our valued sponsors. These are the organizations who believe in building bridges between Canada and India, who invest in community, leadership, and legacy, who stand behind IMEC's mission of impact.
So let's take a moment, please, to recognize our presenting platinum and event sponsors for standing with us, not just today, but throughout the year. So thank you very much to the Sunray Group, CIBC, Edwards Jones, Emirates, Vreta, ICICI Bank Canada, Seneca Polytechnic, Srihari Immigration Consultants.
We also would like to thank the Lovely Travels and Tours, Alliance Immigration, Crown Group of Hotels, Canon International, Lotus Funeral Home, Avon Global College, and CSM Technologies.
And as you sat down, you probably had to move a bag that was on your seat. So all those gift bags from this evening with refreshing juice bottles that you see were a generous courtesy of Sunmark and Suki Divan. So thank you, Sunmark, for your contribution and your continued support.
So ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving a heartfelt round of applause to all our sponsors for believing in the power of partnership and community with IMEC.
Thank you. All right, and now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce you to the founding director of Impact Media and Events Corporation, and of course, the host for tonight's gala. Vipul Jani, ladies and gentlemen, is a former journalist with over 38 years of experience, and he now works primarily in the Canada-India corridor, organizing bilateral conferences, tournaments, golf tournaments, annual galas like tonight, education conferences, and of course, business leaders roundtables. Can you guys let me know with some applause if you've ever been to any of those fabulous events that Vipul Jani has? See, we are among a lot of friends and a wonderful community that he has really pulled together.
And also, he has started 2 months ago. He opened up the IMEC business platform for memberships, and within 2 months, now we have 35 annual subscriber members. He's working on growing this further as the largest privately run business organization. People from 6 Canadian provinces, 8 countries have participated at IMEC events so far, including a very high net worth individuals, senior businessmen, and political leaders. So now, I would request everybody, with your applause, let's welcome Mr. Vipul Jani.
Do we have a speaker mic? Okay. Fantastic. Over to you, Vipulji.
Hello. Can everyone hear me? I can also hear everyone, which I don't want to. So please give me the time to speak, otherwise I'll speak for the next 1 hour. So welcome to the 5th IMEC Canada-India Charity Gala 2025. On November 5, 2024, we were told that the world is going to end on January 20th, 2025. Hasn't happened yet. So congratulations, we have survived so far. While Canada has taken care of the orange here, the orange in the US is here to stay for a while. We thought times were tough during Gala 2024. How wrong we were. 2025 seems to be a year not for the faint-hearted, be it India, Pakistan, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, me and my wife, The world seems to be on fire. Oh, sorry, did I say me and my wife? I am so sorry. Can I borrow your RCMP for protection tonight, Mr. Harper? Canada had its own share of challenges and uncertainties over the last little while. Now, with elections out of the way and an almost majority government in place, hopefully things will start to get better. Still early days, so I will reserve my judgment for now. Whichever way the political wind blows, as business leaders, we have got to keep going. Guys, I guess I'm not that boring, so you can listen to me. That's what IMEC has been doing since 2019. Over the last 7 years, including the 2 years of COVID, we have done 50 plus events, including 4 gala events, 4 education conferences, 2 golf tournaments, 1 welcome and 1 farewell reception for High Commissioners and Consul Generals, more than a dozen business leaders roundtables, 2 Blue Jays and 1 Stanley Cup playoff game visits, several bilateral conferences on IT, manufacturing, renewable energy, infrastructure, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, travel, tourism, hospitality, and many, many more. To those of you who I have been bugging consistently for support, I applaud your patience and for not calling 911 on me. The journey so far has been far from easy, but I am happy to have come this far. Doing close to 50 corporate events in 4 years, maybe 5 years, having premiers, cabinet ministers, banks, pharma companies, tech companies, hospital CEOs, college and university presidents, high net worth individuals, and well above 500 million plus in turnovers. Accept my invite and attend IMEC events from 6 Canadian provinces and 8 countries so far. It feels like living a dream, really. I still consider this as just laying the foundation for much more to come. As part of our effort to give back, IMEC has been raising funds at our events for Canadian charities, and so far we have raised close to $170,000. Primarily for healthcare and educational charities in Canada. This year, we are launching and raising funds for a brand new food bank. Food Bank for All, that is the name. Millions of Canadians are sadly relying on food banks right now, and I could not think of anything better at this point of time than doing whatever we can to help. There are donation forms on each seat. Please feel free to donate generously, whatever you like. We'll use the next month of June to get a mobile food van, to purchase a mobile food van, find a warehouse for storage, and put together other operational logistics. And the food distribution will start from the Canada Day, July 1. So we'll keep all the donors posted on every single food distribution we do and more. Early days are always the most challenging, so open your hearts and wallets and let us do some good together. Good to see most people are still awake. Some are still talking. In an effort to raise the bar further, we are adding a Global Impact Award from this year to recognize an individual with a global impact, someone who has touched upon and made lives better for millions within Canada and beyond. I am thankful to Prime Minister Harper for accepting my invite to receive the first IMEC Global Impact Award. Sir, I am fortunate enough to have visited 24 Sussex drive 3 years in a row with my family. Also met with you one-to-one a few times during your time in office. And it is an honor to have you with us again today. Canada-India relations were truly at their best during your time in office, and we all can't wait to get back to those days again. It will be good for both Canada and India. Actually, back there in the green room when we were sitting together, I asked Mr. Harper, would he ever consider to run again? How many people in the hall think Mr. Harper should run again? So there you are. So Gala 2025 will also recognize 9 other very prominent business leaders, men and women, who have had amazing success in their professional careers and are true role models for others. Collectively, Canada has gained immensely from professional and charitable contributions made by these superstars. You can find out more about them in the magazines in front of you, and soon when they are recognized on stage. People who have attended the previous 4 IMEC Gala events will find the format completely changed this time. I hope you will like it more. In an effort to grow further, we have also now opened this platform up to bring in SMEs and other professionals as annual subscribers. Because the work we do is just like any other business chamber. It's just that we are not a not-for-profit, it's a private company, but we do exactly the same things. I'm happy to say that within less than 2 months, we have 35 annual subscribers, and we aim to have 400 plus in the next 2.5 years to make this the largest privately run business organization. You are most welcome to join IMEC as an annual sponsor or as an annual subscriber. Whether it's $1,000, whether it's $10,000, whether it's $50,000, I am always happy to be at the receiving end. A sincere thank you to all those who believed in me, and a bigger thank you to those who didn't. Times are tough, yes, but then for a married man, times are always tough. Right? If we can face such a formidable opponent at home, who thinks that she knows all our secrets? Thinks is the key word. Trump or anyone else can't do much to us. Thank you everyone again for joining us tonight. I hope you will all have a good time tonight, and together we can create a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vipul Jani, for your inspiring words and for your vision in bringing this community together. Once again, thank you, Mr. Vipul Jani.
Okay, and now I'd like to welcome a very distinguished guest as well to the podium. I know Canada-India relations have gone through a bit of a rough patch recently, but I feel like we are back on track thanks to the dedication and hard work of the individual I'm going to introduce you to now. He is a career diplomat with over 2 decades of service. Mr. Chinmoy Nayak joined the Indian Forces in 2004. His international postings have taken him to key global capitals, including Beijing and Paris, and his expertise spans Eurasia, disarmament, emerging technologies, and cultural diplomacy.
And ladies and gentlemen, he arrived in Canada in February 2023 as the Deputy High Commissioner and today serves as the Acting High Commissioner of India to Canada. Please join us in welcoming the stage, Mr. Chinmoy Nayak, please, everybody.
Namaskar, good evening, Sat Sri Akal, Adab, Bonsoir. Right Honorable Stephen Harper, distinguished members of parliament, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a pleasure to be here today at the 5th IMEC Canada-India Gala. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate Prime Minister Stephen Harper for getting the award, which he will be getting soon. For India, I can say, and of course, this is not exhaustive, but he has had a great impact on our relations, on the relations between India and Canada. To name a few, under his watch, the relationship was elevated to a strategic partnership. He led very important visits to India in 2009 and 12, and during the Honorable Prime Minister of India's visit to Canada, which was very successful, a number of outcomes which outline and underpin the relationship even today took place. In addition to that, he also was instrumental in forging the civil nuclear cooperation between the two countries, a very important result for us. And I think he was among the first leaders who really did a very important outreach to the diaspora or the Indo-Canadian community here in Canada as well. And I think that's the reason why probably he is here and he will be conferred with the award today, in my view. So that's also a very important contribution on his, for him. I look forward to his remarks later, and I once again congratulate him on this achievement. Today we also will be honoring some of the business leaders, and on that aspect also I would like to dwell a bit. Maybe in terms of figures is better. Ladies and gentlemen, the trade between the two countries today stands at about $13 billion. The services trade is about $18 billion. But believe me, that's much, much below potential. We can do much more. And all I can say is that India is open for business. We still have a lot to do. We just have a cumulative direct investment of $6 billion in India from Canada, which is really one of the lowest amongst key countries. Good news, we have $100 billion of portfolio investments from pension funds here in Canada. And in my interactions with them, I believe they are still bullish on India, so they will be investing more. Areas they invest in: infrastructure, renewables, logistics, banking, infrastructure, exactly the areas which India needs to grow in. There is also a clutch of Canadian companies Indian companies in Canada, but it's again not enough. Just about 600, mostly in areas like information technology, banking, natural resources, health science, and financial services. We believe there are many more areas we can do business together. Probably IMEC will need to do another gala event to discuss business and commerce. But to name three main areas which I think we should be working together is in the areas of financial technologies. Specifically, cashless payments is what we are good at. India is doing very well. Today, if you go to India, even a street vendor does not accept currency notes. It's all QR code-based cashless payment system. India is forging partnerships in that with other countries like Singapore, UAE, France. I don't see a reason why we can't do that here in Canada. Another area would be renewables. Canada's strengths in this area can be combined with India's growing green infrastructure and the supply chain integration. Lastly, I will say agriculture is also a very important area which Canada is good at, and areas specifically include crop enhancement, food processing, sustainable packaging, etc., etc. India is the largest, fastest growing economy, 6.2%. We have just become the fourth largest economy in the world at $4.2 trillion. Yeah. But that's just the beginning. We need to go to 7 times more. So, Honorable Prime Minister of India has given us the target to become a developed country by 2047. That's the 100th year of our independence. And for that, we need to grow to 30 trillion plus. So, long way to go. And I think we can work together to achieve that aim. One piece of suggestion, I guess, would be, and because I see a lot of faces from the business community, one very tangible way of doing that is participating in business events in India. And of late, India has been organizing many of those. I just mentioned about food. We will be having the World Food India Expo in September this year. I invite all from that sector to please join there. In May, we had the first World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit, which saw large-scale participation from across the world, including from the media, entertainment, internet platforms, gaming, and audiovisual industry. And this is going to be a signature event for coming years, so we will invite you to go for those and many more, which we keep informing you about, and hopefully you can join us for them. Without taking much time, because today's event is also to celebrate about the achievements of the Indo-Canadian community and the diaspora. 1.8 million as per our estimates here in Canada. All of you know, largely they are friendly and they do well, they integrate well, and they have contributed to the Canadian society and economy in many ways. Also, in terms of, they have risen in their spheres, various spheres of life. I think they can also be a great source of strength for the relationship. Government of India cherishes that relationship, that connection, and we do have a lot of initiatives in that area. Again, without getting too much into detail, I'll just name one or two most important ones, being what we celebrate as the Overseas Indians Festival, held every 2 years. It will be next held in January 2027. It will be a gathering of all, well, not only achievers, but anyone who would want to go. So I'll invite you to go there. We will let you know the details. There will be events, discussions on various aspects like business, on environment, on youth, women's empowerment, culture, etc. So a great gathering, and we hope many of you can join there. We have also launched a special train for overseas Indians to familiarize them with India, because India is changing so fast today. Every year it's changing. So if you have been only 5 years ago, I think you should go again. So this special train is in October and November. Again, we will send you the details. Look out for our website, and you will come to know India and also see many of its tourist places. Lastly, we do organize a lot of events here in Canada, the High Commission in Ottawa and our consulates in Vancouver and Toronto. Again, we will be happy to be associated with you if you can join us for those events. They are in all aspects which celebrate Indian culture, which I know you also do. The main event coming up is in June, on June 21st, the International Day of Yoga. And yoga does not have any nationality or any religion. Every one of you can join us for that. So once again, a pleasure to be here today. And I thank IMEC. Vipul Jani is a very close associate. We organize a lot of business events with him, and we hope to do more. Thank you once again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much to the Honorable Chinmoy Nayak for that very heartfelt and informative speech. It is such a pleasure to have you here with us today.
And now we would like to recognize federal, provincial, and of course, all
Municipal.
the MP and MPPs, and Mayor was also here. We will recognize them as well. MP John Williamson and Commander Kelly Williamson, if you're here, thank you so much for your presence. MP Shivalay Majumdar, MP Amarjit Gill, MP Melissa Lensman, and Kevin Bosch.
And as Jamin mentioned, we did have Mayor Patrick Brown here, so thank you so much for your support. We have Hardam Mungat, the VP of the Liberal Party of Canada. We also have here the Associate Minister of Small Businesses for the Government of Ontario, the Honourable Nina Tangri, and we had MP Jamil Jivani here with us during the VIP reception.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure of hearing from another important voice. Please turn your attention to the screens for a very special video message from the Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford.
As MP
Hi everyone.
Amandeep.
Today I want to take a
Sodhi.
moment to recognize all of you attending the IMEC Canada-India Charity Gala. As we continue to face global economic uncertainty, events like this matter more than ever. Thank you for making a real difference by raising funds, building partnerships, and showing true leadership. I want to wish you a successful charity gala, wishing you all the very best, and God bless.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much to the Premier. Having worked with the Premier and his team for over 6 years, I know that the Canada-India relationships are incredibly important to him, and I myself have taken him out to many events, correct, Minister Tangri? Yes, we've been there, and I know it is very, very important to him to ensure that this community leads and ensures that this community elevates with all of their leadership. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we arrive at a truly defining moment of this evening, the reason why we're all gathered here today. So it is a celebration of excellency, legacy, and the individuals who continue to shape the Canada-India corridor today.
And also, it's time to honor the shining stars of our community, the true gems and brand ambassadors of the Canada-India corridor.
These are the individuals whose achievements, leadership, and service have made us proud of our shared heritage and the impact we continue to make on Canadian soil.
So tonight, we will recognize 9 remarkable Indo-Canadians. As we announce each name, we invite you to please come forward to the stage to receive your award, followed by your pre-recorded acceptance message on the screen.
All right, so we're here to celebrate, like we've said, their journeys, their contributions, and the bridges that they have continued to build between our two nations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be beginning the awards ceremony, and I'd like to invite the founder of IMEC, Vipul Jani, to the stage, along with the High Commissioner, Honorable Chinmoy Nayak, the Minister of Small Businesses, Honorable Nina Tangri, and Melissa Landsman, Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party, to please come up on stage to give away tonight's awards. All right, welcome everyone to the stage. We're all here? We're all here. And our awards are ready? Correct? Okay, fantastic. So the moment we've all been waiting for, the very first award recipient, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. Anju Virmani. Dr. Virmani has a doctorate in engineering from TMU. She is a corporate director, community builder, and philanthropist for 20 years. She was the chief information officer at Cargojet, a $3.5 billion company. In Canada now for over 50 years, Dr. Vermani was appointed by Prime Minister Harper on Canada's Advisory Council for National Security. She has been on various boards, including the TTC, Ontario Power Generation, TMU, and Ontario Health. Through Savitri Anju Vermani, Dr. Vermani's Scholarship for Women in STEM, she supports women and the LGBTQ candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome and celebrate Dr. Anju Vermani. Once again, congratulations, Dr. Anju
Good evening,
Vermani.
ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anju Vermani, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anju Vermani.
And now we'd ask you to
and I'm
turn your
gonna tell you a
attention
little
to the
bit about-
screens.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anju Vermani, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey from India to Canada, which started 50 years ago. I've been fortunate and blessed to have been born in India, a country that built my foundations and gave me my values, and to Canada as my platform and the backdrop of my incredible journey. Thank you to all my incredible and wonderful supporters, mentors, and friends. A heartfelt thanks to Vipul Jani, the founder of IMEC, for bringing together friends of India and Canada. I would also like to congratulate PM Harper and my fellow honorees. Have a great evening.
Thank you once again, and congratulations, Dr. Anju Vermani. Now we are moving to our second award winner. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Anju
Dr.
Vermani.
Vermani.
For someone helping millions of students, Anand Karat himself is an electrical and electronics engineer as well as an MBA in science and technology. Reta, his edtech company, now supports student success in math at over 80% of the colleges across Canada. He has also partnered with ministries of education and academic institutions in Luxembourg, France, Portugal, and UK. Please welcome Mr. Anand Karat, President and CEO of Reta.
Anand Karat has a lot of fans in the audience here tonight.
Good evening. I'm truly honored to receive this award from IMEC. As someone who came to Canada nearly 20 years ago, drawn by its quality of life, universal values, and vibrant multiculturalism, this recognition means a great deal. Now it's even more special to receive it among so many inspiring Indo-Canadians and friends of the Canada-India corridor. Events like this IMEC Gala are more than just celebrations. They're platforms for connections, collaboration, and community impact. And I'm proud to be part of this community that not only recognizes achievement, but also uplifts others in the process. Well, despite current diplomatic challenges between Canada and India, I remain strongly optimistic about the future of the relations. Our shared values, our people-to-people connections, and our commitment to innovation and progress will continue to drive meaningful impact and partnerships in education and beyond. Thank you again for this incredible honor and for all that you do to build bridges between Canada and India to create a lasting impact for both countries. Have a
All right. Thank you and congratulations, Anand Karat. Our next award recipient is not just an individual, but a family, the Chandaria family. So here representing the family is Naveen, who is a member of the second generation of Chandaria business family, who they have built a sizable empire in East Africa over the last 100 years. Make some noise if you're from East Africa, anybody? Yeah, we have a few people. My husband is from East Africa, hence I ask. All right, and now coming to Canada 50 years ago, he and the Chandaria family have enjoyed incredible success in consumer products like fire logs, glue and craft products, and tape and office supplies, something I'm sure we all use. Now, they've diversified their asset base and are building and investing in startups like breweries. That's great, sports groups, and more. Their legacy is now carried forward by Naveen's 3 children, Sunir, Shirni, and Sheena. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chandaria family.
Good evening. Good evening. Naveen is unfortunately enduring some health challenges. He has asked his family to represent this evening, which we are so proud to do, and challenged me with conveying his sentiment, which I shall try to do my best. He'd like to acknowledge first all the honorees of this 5th IMEC Gala, a number of whom are very long-time friends, and in particular our Right Honorable former Prime Minister Stephen Harper, whom he has known for years and for whom he enjoys deep respect. It's genuinely a privilege to be honored this evening for his journey as an Indo-Canadian. In fact, in 3 weeks' time, Naveen marks 50 years since he came to Canada with the full blessing and support of his father, his family, and particularly his new bride, Sarla, who embraced the adventure to the unknown so far from her family and raised 3 seemingly wonderful children in Toronto. What a journey it has been in Canada. Naveen would exclaim that he has indeed fulfilled so many of his ambitious dreams. He'd like to extend his heartfelt gratitude to his late mother and father, Kaka, to his brothers, Ashok, Mahen, Kapoor, Dhiren, his sister, Kumud, all of whom have been such an integral contributors to the family's success. Their influence and support have meant the world to Naveen. Ashok and Mahen, in particular, left us far too young and are deeply missed. Congrats to Vipul Jani, whom we've known for about a quarter century, for the vision and tenacity to create this occasion and contribute so generously to great charitable causes in Canada. This evening is a wonderful showcase of meaningful contributions Indians make to the fabric of Canada as professionals and entrepreneurs alike. The relationship with India must be approached and nurtured thoughtfully. It is, of course, one of our fast-growing large economies in the globe, with talent that Canada benefits so richly from, whether as migrants to Canada or providers from abroad. Naveen would love nothing more than for us to build on the foundation that exists and excel for another 50 years to come.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Chandaya family, for contributing to economy and, of course, to the community as well. Thank you so much. Now we are moving to our next award recipient, a gold medalist in electrical engineering from India. Mr. Kothari has a Master of Engineering in Electronics, an MBA in Finance from USA. He established Kothari Group of Companies in Canada in 1996, active in real estate development, construction and finance in Canada and USA. Kothari Group has built thousands of condominiums and some commercial properties for sale, as well as some rentals, and are also building hotels now. Through the Kothari Family Foundation, he supports numerous charities. Please welcome Mr. Navratan, aka Norton Kothari, on the stage.
An absolute legend.
Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed guests, I am truly humbled to be here tonight at the IMEC's 5th Annual Gala accepting this award. As IMEC is working towards improving ties between India and Canada, we reflect on the deep and enduring relationship between our two great nations. From trade partnerships to cultural exchanges, India and Canada have long shared a bond grounded in mutual respect and common values. However, recent tensions have surfaced, testing this relationship. These challenges, while significant, offer us an opportunity to engage in an open dialogue, renew our commitment to diplomacy, and strengthen our collaboration on global issues like climate change, trade, and security. To resolve these tensions, Government of India as well as the new government in Canada must focus on constructive communication, respect for sovereignty, and shared vision for the future. It is only through understanding, cooperation, and mutual respect that we can navigate these challenges and continue to build a prosperous and peaceful relationship for generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored and humbled to accept this award. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
Congratulations once again, Mr. Kothari. You have paved the way and have inspired so many Indo-Canadians. Thank you for all that you do. Moving on now, ladies and gentlemen, to our 5th award recipient. We have Bavi Binning. From being the first person of ethnic origin to ever being appointed to the board of a major UK public company, to becoming the group CFO of Nortel, Victor Binning is today the Deputy Chairman for Whittington Investments, the parent company of the Weston Group, which includes George Weston Limited, Loblaws Companies, Shoppers Drug Mart, Choice Properties, REIT, Holt Renfrew, PC Financial, and Joe Fresh. I know everyone in this audience has shopped at one of those places before. So he is also a senior advisor to the Landmark Group of Companies, a Dubai-based company employing 220,000 employees with a $60 billion plus in turnover. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to congratulate Bavi Binning.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great evening. I'd like to begin by thanking Vipul and IMEC for honouring me this evening. It's a privilege to receive the award and share the evening with everyone here today. My journey's come a long way from India to England and now Canada. And I've had the good fortune to work for some world-class businesses and outstanding leaders over the years. Throughout my life, there have been a few things that have always been important to me. Firstly, the values that I grew up with in my family. My life and career has been built on these values. Secondly, I've never modeled myself on anyone, but instead tried to learn and take the best from the great people that I've worked with. And finally, I've always taken on challenging roles and situations and tried to make a real difference in them. This has resulted in the greatest personal development for me. These things have served me well over the years. In terms of India and Canada, I have high hopes for the relationship between Canada and India and hope the two countries work collaboratively in the future for their mutual benefit. Again, many thanks, and I hope you all enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody, once again, and thank you so much.
An absolute trailblazer.
Now we are moving to our next award recipient, Raj Kothari. Raj led the asset and wealth management practice from PwC in Canada and also became their vice chair in 2017. A few years ago, he rewired from full-time professional life and broadened his engagement by serving on corporate and non-profit boards and providing business advisory services to private corporations. Raj has served on many boards, including UHN Foundation, Toronto Region Board of Trade, Aga Khan Museum, and many more. Please welcome Raj Kothari.
Good fortune to work for some world-class businesses and
Good evening. I'm deeply honored and grateful to receive this award. Thank you to IMEC for this recognition. It truly means a lot. I want to acknowledge the amazing team of people who've supported me all along. My teachers in my early days in my life, my colleagues, my friends, and my family. I wouldn't be standing here if not for the incredible community that surrounds me. This award isn't just a personal milestone. It is a reminder of the power of hard work, collaboration, and resilience. I hope it inspires others to keep pushing forward, even when the road gets tough. Thank you again for this honor. I am truly honored, humbled, and will carry this moment with me always. To IMEC, Godspeed. Keep doing the great work you are doing to build the bridges between India and Canada. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Kothari. Our seventh award recipient is a CFO and group head for Scotiabank. He has held senior roles with KPMG, HSBC, and of course now Scotiabank. Charities such as hospital, pet rescues, food banks are things that Raj supports wholeheartedly. He is an avid baseball fan. Any other baseball fans in the house? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, right. Thank you, sir. All right. So he has definitely hit it out of the park, both in his professional and personal life. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a thunderous round of applause to Mr. Raj Vishwanathan.
Nice in this forum. I'm humbled even more when I look at the others on the list, including Prime Minister Harper. I share this recognition with many people who made a big difference to my life. Starting with my parents, who gave me the best education in India, and my family's support through the last 30 years. On the work front, I owe a ton of gratitude to the people I work for and the people I work with at Scotia over the last 23 years. They have been an immense contributor to my successes at the bank. The values between India and Canada are very similar, and I've been a significant beneficiary, having lived in both countries equally in life. I wish the strong bond between the two countries are enhanced in the future, and organizations such as IMEC, individuals such as Vipul, and events like these foster that, in my opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and so how are the Jays doing? Are we happy with them right now? Roger, are we happy with the Jays right now, or like not so much? We're always happy with the Jays. Excellent.
Just
All
like
right.
as a player, as a fan, you are all hitting the balls and out of the ground as well. Congratulations and thank you for joining here. Now we are moving to our next award recipient, Robin Deer. Robin is the president of Tweenbrook Developments, a real estate development firm with holdings in Canada, India, and USA. He is also a senior strategic advisor to M&P and Fasken law firm. He is the board chair of LaSalle College with 23 campuses in 12 countries and sits on several other corporate boards. He is the chair of United Way of BC and president for Vancouver Club, director with UNICEF, has been a member of Simon Fraser University's India Advisory Council, and many more. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Robin Deer.
Good evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Vipul Jani, Impact Media and Events Corporation, and all those involved with making tonight's program a success. My name is Robin Deer, and I'm very happy to be honored for my business success, my community work, and my philanthropy. I'm a proud Canadian, a proud British Columbian, and happy to add geographic diversity to tonight's festivities. I'd like to congratulate all the other award winners for their hard work and success. We don't wake up each day to go win an award, but it sure is nice to be recognized for the hard work and effort that we do put into what we do. In particular, I'd like to congratulate the Right Honorable Stephen Harper, somebody who I've admired for quite a long time, for his Global Impact Award.
Congratulations. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me distinct pleasure to introduce you to our 9th and 2nd female award recipient. So, Shivani Gupta. Ladies and gentlemen, Shivani started in the human resource industry where she recruited top-rated CFOs and CPAs. In 2013, she joined the hospitality industry and is currently a director at the Crown Group of Hotels, a hospitality company that I'm sure you are all familiar with, probably have stayed there as well. And they are valued, if you didn't know, at over $225 $5 million. She's also the HR business partner at Prudent Law. And now it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. A woman after my own heart. She is a Bollywood buff, and get this, she enjoys kickboxing. So anyone sitting next to her, you better watch out. Be very nice. Get her all her drinks throughout the night. And she is a practicing Reiki master. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Shivani Gupta.
Good evening, everyone. I'm deeply honored and truly humbled to be receiving this recognition from IMEC Media. Thank you to the awards committee and Mr. Vipul Jani for this incredible honor. Being acknowledged amongst so many accomplished leaders, entrepreneurs, and trailblazers is both inspiring and humbling. Being an integral part of two incredible businesses, Crown Group of Hotels and Prudent Law, has taught me the significance of possibility and progress. I've been fortunate to have two countries shape my journey. India, where I inherited deep-rooted values of resilience and adaptability in the first decade of my life, and Canada, that gave me the freedom to explore and to lead in an environment that celebrates diversity and innovation. The Canada-India corridor is not just a space for economic exchange, but also a platform for shared growth, shared values, and shared dreams. And as a woman entrepreneur myself operating in this space, I see firsthand how important it is to build bridges between India and Canada, and especially for the next generation. Events like the IMEC Gala matter because they elevate these stories. They honor the risk takers, the change makers. And to my family that has always cheered for me, thank you for your unwavering support. Congratulations to all the winners tonight, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Congratulations, Shivani. And what I'd love to see is Shivani's husband was an award recipient last time, and he's now taking your place. You were recording him last time. He's recording you. I love this powerful duo that you guys are. Congratulations to all of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'd like to ask all of you to please give a very, very heartfelt and warm round of applause to all of the award recipients for their outstanding business achievements and their lasting contributions to the Canada-India corridor. Their stories really inspire myself, I'm sure my co-MC, the next generation, and all of us in the room. So thank you so much on behalf of everyone here for elevating the South Asian community, the Indian community, the way that you do. And thank you very much. I'd like to ask allow all of you to go take your seats again. Thank you for being the award presenters for tonight.
Thank you so much, all of you, for joining on the stage as well. And now, we are thrilled to share some exciting news. Tonight marks the official launch of a brand new initiative. One with a purpose, compassion, and a deep community impact.
So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Food Bank for All, a new food bank dedicated to serving individuals and families across the GTA. This powerful initiative is the brainchild of our host for this evening, Mr. Vipul Jani, and it's built on the belief that no one in our community should ever go hungry.
And to tell us more and to introduce the vision behind this mission, please join us in welcoming the founding team of Food Bank for All to the stage, starting with Mr. Vipul Jani. Everybody, please make some noise and turn round of applause for all of them to joining on the stage. Along with them, we would like to invite Vinod Gera, Prashant Srivastava, and Indira Khurana.
And as the founding member has come up on stage, I will say that the need for food banks is a sad but growing reality for millions of people who now use food banks on a regular basis. Let's do our part, ladies and gentlemen. This is where I'm going to ask you to dig deep. I've said that before at the start of the evening, and I'll say it again. Please give generously, dig deep into your hearts, into your wallets, into your souls, and make a donation. Because these donations will help fight hunger within our community. There are donation forms, like I said, on each table. So please feel free to contribute whatever you'd like. And to take it off the ground, as we are now in the process of getting a mobile food van, which I think is incredibly innovative. And we are finding the operating space for this food bank, from storage and warehousing and all the other necessary logistics. So every dollar counts in this formative stage.
And this mobile food van, isn't that an incredible idea? And the first goal is to raise the initial $100,000. Then we go from there, the food van, the brand new, and that costs around $60,000. A used van will cost roughly around $40,000 as well. But if one company can support the cost, we will be happy to put up your name and your logo on both the sides of that van for the life of the van. Food drives will start on Canada Day, will be posted on Food Bank website. We will collect all the donation forms and subscription forms just prior to the dinner at 9. So ladies and gentlemen, we have all the time. Please be kind and fill up your donation form. Along with that, membership forms as well.
Okay, thank you to the founding members of Food Bank for All. Please, everyone, give generously. Okay, yeah, sure, a big round of applause for them. Why not? Okay, thank you. Hi, how are you? Okay, and now, ladies and gentlemen, back, because we've got to, shake things up here. We have the Bollywood Dance School of Canada. They're here to set this stage up in a lot of energy with now a semi-classical piece that really represents the vibrancy, the color, the rhythms, and the dance of India. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome back to the stage the Bollywood Dance Group, who I think are coming very shortly.
We will have them on the stage as well, and we'll be enjoying this dance performance. But to create more warmth in this hall right now, may I please request everybody, please, let's clap as round as possible, everybody. Let's clap as loud as possible. We're going to invite them on the stage as well. Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much.
Wait, I think we might have to do one of those things that MCs love doing, which is kill some time, because I don't see them here right now. So we'll do that. Okay. We talked about, tonight is all about celebrating and elevating the South Asian community. Okay, we're good. Sorry, I got distracted because, of course, the 22nd Prime Minister is moving that way. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it time to come up? But it's not. Okay, how many Bollywood fans in the house? How many? Make some noise. Anybody? Other than Shivani? Ooh. Oh my God.
Couple of them, okay.
Okay, if you're not Bollywood, are you Hollywood fans?
All right.
Well, at least I heard more for Bollywood at this point in time.
All right. Any music fans in the house? Forget the Bollywood for now, but I want to hear, if you like to hear any music, people? Lovely. That's interesting. So we have a diverse crowd. We saw some Bollywood fans in the house as well, so as Hollywood. And now it's all the time we enjoy a little bit of India and Canada relations along with the Bollywood and music too.
Absolutely. And again, I'm going to take this time, everybody, to remind you that there are donation forms on your table. There are also subscription forms. So IMEC Canada has launched their subscription that my co-MC mentioned earlier this evening. So please do join up. We'll come around right before dinner to pick up those forms from all of you. So 2 forms. Very easy, 2 forms. There's one subscription form for IMEC, and then the second one is a donation form. Guys, I don't see any pens. Come on. If you need a pen, come up. I have one to write your donation form. That would be great. I think we have our Bollywood dancers, Bollywood Dance School of Canada back up here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy one more electric dance performance right here on the stage. Let's enjoy it together. What an amazing performance by one and only Bollywood Dance School Canada.
All right, thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you for moving our podium back into place.
Thank you.
What a vibrant performance. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, we're getting treated to the best of the best here because I'm sure you've heard of the names Diljit Dosanjh, Karan Aujla. So Bollywood Dance School of Canada, actually, when they go on tour, they are the ones who perform with them. So an absolute a pleasure to have them performing with us today.
And on this note, I would say, you know, maple leaves and mangoes. This beautiful and flawless friendship is also growing together. Now, the first ever
Global Impact Award to recognize someone who truly has global impact. Ladies and gentlemen, since this is an India-Canada Gala, we cannot think of anyone else but the Honorable Stephen Harper, during whose tenure the Canada-India relations were at a peak. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce you to the Honorable Stephen Harper, I would like to invite on stage the Acting High Commissioner, Chinmoy Nayak, Josh Leslie from Corporate Connections, Naresh Raghubir from Sandstone Group.
I also would like to invite Norton Kothari from the Kothari Group, Geoff McRoyle from Sienna Senior Living, Minister Nina Tangri and Melissa Lenchman to give away the award to Mr. Harper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now the Right Honorable Stephen Joseph Harper created the modern Conservative Party of Canada. He won 3 successive national elections and was the longest-serving Conservative Prime Minister since Canada's founding Prime Minister in 1891. Since leaving office in 2016, Mr. Harper founded and is the chairman and CEO of Harper and Associates, a global consulting and strategic advisory business. He also serves as the board chair for the Alberta Investment Management Corporation, AIMCO. He is chairman of the International Democracy Union and is also a member of the Global Advisory Board of India's Observer Research Foundation. Mr. Harper, the Honorable Stephen Harper, is a companion of the Order of Canada and oversaw a dramatic deepening of relations with India. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the 22nd Prime Minister of our beautiful nation, the Right Honorable Stephen Harper. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Honorable Stephen Harper is receiving the Global Impact Award from IMEC Canada. Yeah, if you can take the podium and our dignitaries, you can take your seats now. Thank you so much.
Let's take this down.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody, fellow honorees, distinguished guests from all levels of government, High Commissioner of India, NIC, sponsors and organizers, ladies and gentlemen. Although I speak to many audiences, one question does tend to come up frequently, and I guess it came up again tonight. That is, why don't you come back? Well, and I'll give you the real short answer to that. It's because in my life right now, I have a lot less stress and I make a lot more money. Anyway, I'm truly delighted to be here and truly honored to be receiving this award, the Global Impact Award, and I am particularly proud to receive it from this organization, IMEC, which is hosting its 5th gala, 5th of these galas, and once again using the opportunity to raise significant funds for very worthy causes, charities. So everyone, please, a big hand for IMEC and for our host, for Vipul Jani. Also, in accepting this award, let me be clear that I am accepting it on behalf, not on my own behalf, but on behalf of the government that I led and the dozens of ministers and members and staffers of that government. They are too numerous to name, but some are present here tonight, and all worked very diligently at advancing the Canada-India relationship, and they did so because they understood the tremendously hopeful example that a democratic and economically strong India can represent for the world as a whole. So please give a great hand to all of my Conservative colleagues for their tremendous work. Now, ladies and gentlemen, friends, if I may, as you know, the government that I led set out to end a decades-long deep freeze into which Canada and India government relations had fallen. As has been mentioned by other speakers, we signed a large number of significant agreements with the government of India. First, under the late, great Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister, a fellow economist for whom I had a tremendous admiration. Those agreements included the path-breaking nuclear cooperation agreement, which finally opened the door to major uranium exports from Canada to India. We also opened a wide range of trade offices across India. Most importantly, we were the first government among Western nations, and I may add, completely contrary to the advice of Global Affairs Canada, to establish a presence in Gujarat and to build a relationship with its then dynamic Chief Minister, Narendra Modi, who remains today a personal friend of mine and who is among the very few democratic leaders in the world today in a strong political position and moving his country in a positive direction. Now, friends, I think, as you know, I never shied away from speaking my mind on difficult issues. So tonight, let me address the elephant in the room. It's not an Indian elephant. It's not an African elephant. I want to talk about the legacy of our Conservative government in Canada-India relations and the fact that that legacy should be serving this country very well. Instead, we witnessed the near complete loss of that legacy between the government of India and the government of Canada under my successor. For me, and I'm sure for many of you, what has transpired has been truly heartbreaking. I believe that it in no way reflects the population of either of our countries, the vast majority of whom in each country share a great affection for the other. But as someone who spends time, a lot of time still in India, and who makes regularly with very senior people in the government of India, it is important for me to say that all Canadian political parties need to understand two things. Number one, under current conditions, that I'll talk about in a few minutes, under current conditions, Canada needs now more than ever a strong relationship with India. And number two, Canada cannot have that strong relationship unless the governing party, and frankly, any political party that aspires to government, unless those political parties cannot have a strong relationship with India, unless they sever relations with those who seek to bring the battles of India's past to Canada, and sever relations with those who seek to divide the great country that is modern India. Now, of course, friends, such people have a right to their democratic views, just as Canadians have a right to such views about the separation of our own country. But we do not tolerate such views about breaking up Canada within parties that wish to govern our country. And we should not be tolerating views about breaking up Canada within political parties who wish to govern our country and to advance our interests in the world. Now, friends, I am saying these things with a certain urgency. That is because Canada, in the emerging international system, simply cannot afford to continue to have unnecessary conflicts with our potential partners. I want to spend a few minutes to talk about that emerging international system. You will have often heard it said in recent years that the world is moving from a US-led unipolar order to a multipolar order. In my view, that is not correct, although I will say that it is half correct. The multipolar part may be true, but the order part is not. The world is not moving from one order to another. The world is moving from order to disorder. The world is moving from a global rules-based, institution-based arrangement to something much more akin to survival of the fittest and the triumph of the strongest. It is moving away from the idea that the interactions between countries through markets and trade can be and should be mutually beneficial, and it is moving away from the idea that freedom and democracy and the values that attach to them should be aspirational and beneficial for everyone. In short, this is a move away, not just from rules and institutions. This is a shift of a mindset from mutual benefit to zero-sum thinking. This has been happening progressively over a couple of decades now. Powers like Iran, Russia, China, and others have been allowed to use global rules and institutions when it suits them, while also simultaneously using raw power to intimidate, manipulate, and coerce others, especially their neighbors. In effect, these powers have been increasingly trying to build old-fashioned spheres of influence. The United States has been increasingly unable to rein in these developments, but now it is increasingly unwilling to do so. Indeed, under this second Trump administration, the United States is now turning quite explicitly to its own version of this approach. I think of the US position that Ukraine's sovereignty can only be defended if it surrenders its mineral wealth to the United States. Obviously, I'm also referring to the president's threats against the sovereignty of other countries, including our own. Like most Canadians, I find this both a shocking and a bewildering development. Contrary to the president's statements, we need to be clear about this. Contrary to the president's statements, Canada has the deepest, most balanced economic and security integration with the United States of any country on this planet. We are, whether the president recognizes it or not, we are the Americans' best friends. That is a fact. Of course, we could do some things better, especially on defense, but nothing justifies the president's denigration of this country and our relationship. Nevertheless, the reality is that the orientation of the U.S. is changing, as it has been for a while, and I would say that there's a degree to which that is understandable. After all, the rules-based order that we have all enjoyed has increasingly been used as a constraint on the United States alone. It has certainly not been a constraint on its geopolitical rivals, but it has also often not been a constraint on America's allies either, who have indeed too often been willing to free ride on American economic access and security guarantees, while at the same time charting international courses without any reference to their relationship with the United States. In any case, what I am seeing in the world is that given this new multipolar disorder and the attitude of the present U.S. administration towards Canada, we must protect ourselves by hedging our bets and by broadening and certainly not restricting our relationships around the world. And if there is anywhere that Canada needs to start, it is with India. That is because among the few countries who can manage this new international order powerfully. One can count India. We should make no mistake, India is emerging as an important global power in its own right. And India can be that kind of power both because it is big enough, but also because it possesses attributes that make it an attractive partner for other major parties around the world. First, on size, India is, I believe, now the largest country in the world by population. Its economy, by any measure, is now no less than the 5th largest in the world, and it is growing more robustly than any other country in that top category. Combine this with its huge landmass and its unique cultural force, and India is unquestionably, as I said, on track to be a truly global power. Now, I do not say this to flatter you, High Commissioner, or your country. I say it as a wake-up call to mine. Because although India still has many challenges, India's rise is in the world's interest. What better emerging power than one that holds no imperialist ambitions and that possesses a free, democratic, and pluralist political ethos? Of course, on top of all that, India does have generally very positive people-to-people links with our own country, Canada. So despite this emerging multipolar global disorder, India is the one country that should grow in influence and a country with which Canada has the most urgent reason to cultivate and expand our relations. Now, friends, be under no illusion about what I'm saying. The world that's emerging that I've talked about is not a desirable state of affairs for humanity. In fact, this state of affairs ominously mirrors the rivalries of the pre-World War I period. And we know where history tells us where all that led. God help us if we are to enter such a new period with its combination of advanced weaponry and computer power. So for this reason, countries that by their very political cultures seek a better world for all people, countries like Canada and India, we need to work together now as never before. Look at the challenges that confront us: the need for continued global growth and wider prosperity, the challenges of energy and climate, of pandemics and human health, of sustainable development goals, and of course, of peace and security. None of these things will do well over time if all the geopolitics of the world is left only to spheres of influence and deals between strongmen. On all those matters, humanity will need an enlightened voice, will need enlightened voices, and there is no reason why countries like Canada and India cannot be those enlightened voices working together, which we can do and should do by putting our recent disputes behind us. Now, I can tell you, certainly tell you, that now as a private citizen, I will continue to do my best to continue to advance Canada and India relations. As has been mentioned, I do that, among other things, through my role as a chairman of the Advisory Council of India's largest think tank, the Observer Research Foundation. And I also know that many of you in this room, connected as you are to IMEC, will also strive to do the same. So thank you for all that you do to advance the cause of both of our countries. Thank you again to this organization for the award, and I look forward to our conversation. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you to the Right Honorable Stephen Harper. Ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Honorable Harper, if you can probably stay up on stage, because we're going to get the two chairs up here, and we're going to have the much-awaited fireside chat. So to do the honors and to conduct the fireside chat, I'd like to also invite back up on stage Vipul Jani, our founder and of IMEC. So please come up on stage. Okay, we're all mic'd up almost. We're all mic'd up for sure, and we're good. Perfect. Table. I know everyone is looking forward to that. That was an incredibly insightful speech.
Yeah. And, this discussion is going to be intimate, but engaging the fireside conversation. Tonight, we are not just sharing the dialogues, we are sharing the ideas, stories, and a spark that lights meaningful connection. So get comfortable, lean in everybody, and join in with this conversation, Fireside with Vipul Jani and Honorable Stephen Harper. Please put your hands together, everybody.
All right, so can everyone hear us well? Okay, so thank you, first of all, Prime Minister Harper, for accepting the invite, for joining us today. And as I mentioned during our brief chat at the back, you may not remember it, but this is my fourth time with you doing this one-to-one. Of course, after a gap of many, many years. So without much introduction, I will get straight to the questions.
Sure.
There are about 11 of them.
And they're all hungry, so.
Well, I think everybody knows this is more important. We get dinner every day. When do you get Harper? So the first one, obviously, since it's a Canada-India Gala, so I will start with Canada-India first. Canada-India relations were at their peak during your time at the PMO. How, according to you, can we bring it back on track again, as doing so will be significantly beneficial for both countries, as you just mentioned?
Yeah. Look, Vipul, I don't think I need to elaborate on that. I think it's very clear. I think Canada and India need to have a better relationship, but I think Canada needs it more than India. I think we need it very badly. Given what is happening in the world, and particularly our relationship with the United States, we need to strengthen that relationship. And it should be a strong relationship. But it's very clear what we need to do. We need our government, the new government, to want to strengthen those relations with India, and we need the new government to understand that it cannot reach out to Indian separatists and expect to have a good relationship with the government of India. So it needs to distance itself from those voices within its party.
Sure. So one request to everybody in the hall, please. If there is something really urgent that you need to speak to someone, I would encourage, please go in the lobby in the respect of this fireside chat. Once again, please, if there is something really urgent that you need to talk to, please go in the lobby and then come back. Next up, US-Canada relations, people-to-people ties, how closely our businesses are intertwined. Is the current situation irreversible, or this crack in the glass, as I call it, is now repairable?
So I don't think the current situation with the United States is totally irreversible. In fact, I'm not even sure to describe exactly what the situation is, because as we know, President Trump will announce measures, then a few days later he'll reverse those measures, or some of them. But obviously the relationship wasn't what it was, and I don't think it's probably ever going to go back quite to what it was, because, to be blunt, trust has really been undermined. And in human relations, we all know it takes a long, long time to build up trust. It takes one incident to destroy trust. So I don't think we can ever quite trust the United States the way we did. I think we need to view this as an opportunity for our country, as an opportunity to realize our potential in ways we simply have not. To use, I spend most of my time in the investment business these days, and to use an investment term, Canada has long been really, really grossly overweight the United States. We need to make our internal economy more competitive. We need to broaden our external relationships, our external economic connections. My government created Canada's modern network of free trade agreements. It's time to take advantage of that and to sell our resources and our goods and our services around the world. So I think if we see this as an opportunity, broaden our relationships, make our economy stronger, give ourselves leverage, then that will serve us well in dealing with the United States.
Sure, thank you. So I know it's a long question. I know you are no friend of Putin. We have talked about it in the past.
Right.
However, considering the billions of dollars in cash and arms the West has already provided to Ukraine, all the sanctions and all the things done to make life difficult for Russia, the war doesn't seem anywhere close to ending anytime soon. What future do you see for this Russia-Ukraine conflict? Also, as they say, trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result doesn't really work. So why not try a different, a bit bold approach? Be friends with Russia for a change. I mean, it may seem impossible today, but the consequences of that will be very far-reaching for Middle East, for Southeast Asia, and elsewhere.
Well, two things on that, and I think you all know how strongly I support Ukraine. I'm glad the war isn't over, and I hope the war continues. I hate to put it in those terms. The reason I hope the war continues is I'm worried that the alternative is that the Russian people are conquered and slaughtered. And that is something we must absolutely avoid. The reason the war has gone on so long is that the Biden administration decided early on as an explicit policy, that while it didn't want Russia to win, it didn't want Ukraine to win either. And so we funded a stalemate.
Yeah.
And what country never loses a war of attrition? Russia. So this was a bad policy, a dumb policy. It's got us to where we are. But look, I would put it very differently than you put it. The problem in our dealings with Russia for 20-some years is not that we haven't tried to make friends with Russia. Every single new U.S. administration has tried to make friends with Russia, and it has proven to be a mistake. And during the period where we tried to be friends, Putin has grabbed more territory, attacked more countries, been more belligerent. We have to accept the fact that Vladimir Putin, as long as he is alive, will never be a friend of Western democracies. He will always be an enemy, and we must stand up to him at all times. And if we do in Ukraine and Moldova and other countries what we did in Eastern Europe, every single country that borders Russia and wants to join NATO should be allowed in NATO, and that is the way you stop Vladimir Putin.
Okay. Speaking more about more at home, the talk of Western alienation with Ottawa, especially Alberta and Saskatchewan, where is this going? Do you see the voices growing louder? On one hand, we are talking about promoting interprovincial trade, and on the other hand, major provinces like Alberta, like Saskatchewan, are at loggerheads with Ottawa. So how does that make any sense to take this country forward?
Well, look, I think the new government, the current Carney government, has a real opportunity, and a real opportunity to do two things. First, to take advantage of the willingness that many provinces have expressed to get rid of interprovincial trade barriers. It's been the provinces, not Ottawa, that have been the source of those barriers. Alberta and BC got rid of their barriers, Saskatchewan many years ago, most of them. This is not hard to do. All other provinces have to do is sign on to the existing Western Agreement. So look, I hope that happens, and the current Prime Minister has said he will push the provinces to do that. So I hope he continues. In terms of the challenges in Alberta and Saskatchewan, look, I think it's really easy, and once again, it's an opportunity for the government. We have an extraordinary situation in Canada today, or the last decade, which is that it has been the avowed policy of the Government of Canada to end the major industry of the region of my region of the country. I don't know of anywhere else in the democratic world where a government has vowed to end a major industry, and all the Government of Canada has to do is stop that, to be blunt, return to the policies, not just of my government, but the policies of Jean Chrétien and Paul Martin, and allow our energy industry to flourish. Canadian oil and gas, I can tell you, I go around the world, every other country not only wants to buy that resource, wants to invest in it. And if the current government, if Mr. Carney sees an opportunity to liberalize and liberate that industry, it will serve national unity and the economy very well.
Okay. So, again, a little bit of a longer question. coming back to Canada-India relations and the elephant in the room,
Right.
the so-called Khalistan problem. It seems all major parties are now infected by this problem. In many ridings, all three parties are fielding candidates from same race, same religion, same ethnicity. Anti-India rallies and referendums are allowed in major cities on a regular basis on what I call bogus pretext of freedom of speech. This is not the Canada I came to 25 years ago, and this is not what most of us here would like to give to our next generation. Is there any way now to make Canada, Canada again, away from all this vote bank appeasement and divisive foreign agenda-driven politics?
Well, look, Vipul, as you know, I completely share your view. I think I was very clear on that tonight. I'd love to see data to the contrary. My experience has been and continues to be that the Khalistani movement is a fringe movement in Canada. It is a fringe movement among Indo-Canadians, and it is even a fringe movement among Sikh Canadians. And I don't know why various politicians spend so much time on this. When I was Prime Minister, my caucus understood you were to have no contact whatsoever with the Khalistani movement, and I hope all political parties will return to that kind of a policy.
We certainly hope so, because it's important not just for India, but I guess more important for Canada, because it's
Very
affecting
important.
us right here in our homes.
Yep.
So something now coming up on a topic which is your forte, finances. Our debts and deficits are at record highs. A balanced budget seems like an unattainable dream. The interest payment, as you know, is now over $50 billion a year and growing rapidly. The government since 2015 has been spending money as if it grows on a tree in the finance minister's backyard. Prime Minister Carney also talked about spending hundreds of billions of dollars more over his term. Canadians are watching helplessly as they struggle to merely survive. How can we bring some sanity to government spending again?
Well, look, it's a really good question. People will remember during the global financial crisis, our government ran what was considered then to be an extraordinary deficit to help country through it. But when that crisis was over, we returned our budget to balance and left the country in a very strong fiscal position that our successors could have used to really build the economic strength of this country. Instead, they used it as a way to expand the checkbook. And that was a really serious error. I will just say, look, it's not going to be easy to fix that problem. I will just say that I did attend the throne speech, some of you may have noticed this week, and the new government said all of the right things about getting fiscal policy back on track. And I just hope that those promises turn out to be true, because the country needs that. Look, I also think, let me be with everybody here, be very candid. I do think the new Prime Minister, Mr. Carney, I know him well from his time as governor, he's got both a huge opportunity and a huge risk. If he takes the Liberal Party to sensible economic policy and tackles the deficit, he has an opportunity to turn the country around, to make his minority government strong and perhaps govern for a long time. If he fails to do that, Canada's going to have a rough time in the next year regardless, partly because of the past 10 years and partly because of Trump. We're going to have a rough time in the next year for sure. And if the Carney government fails to change economic policy, I think it will be very short-lived. So I think that it's all in their hands. And look, I'm, as you know, not a supporter of that government. I supported the Conservative Party, but I hope they make the changes necessary to strengthen our country's economy.
Well, they should, but actually, to be realistic, they have just won the fourth term. They already have 169 seats, almost a majority.
Right.
So, where is the motivation for them to do anything? People keep voting for them anyway.
Well, it's a good question. Look, I think obviously the last election, the one we just had, I mean, it was the strangest election in our country's history. We've had elections before about Canada-U.S. relations, but this is the first election in our history where the leader of a foreign country set the ballot question. And for whatever reason, by the way, President Trump made it very clear he wanted the Liberals to win, which was hard to explain, but that's where we're at. So it was a very strange election. Look, I'll just say that we've had, as you say, 4 elections, but the last 3 elections where I thought, our party could have won every election. We were actually very close. If you look at the popular vote, actually slightly ahead in 2 and very close in the last one. And to be blunt, I'll be frank, I think in every one of those elections we lost for reasons that were glaringly obvious. Mistakes made in decisions. And look, I think it's just incumbent when you lose an election to examine what you did wrong, be very clear about it. The reason we won in 2006 is I lost my first national election in 2004, and we did a very serious examination of why we had lost, and we made sure we fixed those challenges, those problems for the next time. So that's what it's incumbent upon the Conservative Party to do now.
Okay. The world seems to be at a major turning point with the balance of power shifting rapidly to China and India, as most people would agree. How relevant are the current global bodies, including the UNSC, and how long can they remain relevant, most of the UN organizations, I would say, if no major reforms are undertaken soon?
Well, look, you and I may disagree. I don't think those organizations have been terribly relevant for a long, long time. I'm not saying the United Nations is irrelevant, but the United Nations has always been only as relevant as the major powers make it. And, for various reasons, they're not going to make it very relevant going forward. I think for a country like ourselves that, is not a major power, we're not an insignificant country. We're the 10th largest economy in the world. I always remind people, we think we're so small because we're beside the United States, but we're not that small. When I was Prime Minister of Canada, when I met other leaders, 95% of the time, I was the bigger country. And 80% of the time, I was the bigger country by an order of magnitude or more. So we're not a small country, but we're not a major power. And we can't put in the era to come our hope in the United Nations. We have to go out and build a wide variety of relationships around the world with countries that we can have good relations with. Obviously, as I said before, the U.S. relation right now is under stress. There's no way Canada is going to have a good relationship with Russia for the foreseeable future. China, we could improve that relationship, but for reasons that are obvious, we're never going to be totally on the same wavelength. So when you look at major powers around the world, it is really incumbent that we get our relationship with India right.
Okay. So another topic which has been around for a long time, from your time in the office as well. What is going on with the love-hate relationship with the F-35s? This on again, off again, is doing no good to our military or to our reputation as a serious defense buyer. Also, if we have to look beyond the US and defend ourselves, how long will that take to be self-sufficient or self-reliant? And can we actually defend ourselves?
Well, look, it's a really good question, and obviously, if we'd had a Conservative government the last 10 years, we'd have an F-35 fleet now. That's just one of the many things that would have been done that wasn't done. Instead, we've just ragged the puck. So hopefully that will be fixed. Look, I'll just say this about defense. There's obviously a lot of pressure on Canada, and I say once again, the new government has expressed the willingness to increase our defense spending. We need to do that. I really think, though, we should increase our defense spending with a couple of clear goals. One is, when it comes to the border, The border is a shared responsibility with the United States, and we need to work closely with them. But beyond that, what we should be doing with increased defense spending is using it so we have the capacity, and there's no reason we cannot have the capacity, to defend all of our own lands, seas, and skies independent of the United States. And that should be our objective in increasing our military.
And do you think we should pay US $61 billion for this dome?
Look, I hate to say this, I'll defer to Canada's ambassador to the United Nations and what he said about that. I don't, look, we've had air defense cooperation with the United States for, well over half a century, NORAD. And should we look at increasing that through missile defense? Probably. But, as Ambassador Ray said, I don't think we appreciate that being presented as a kind of a protection racket shakedown. I don't think that's the way you approach this thing.
Yeah. A big round of applause for me. I made Mr. Harper speechless for a few seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
So, coming back to politics, Erin O'Toole, Andrew Scheer, Pierre Poilievre, three conservative leaders have failed to dislodge the Liberals from power. What now?
Well, that's for the party to figure out. I'm just a retired guy now. If a party asks my views, I'll always provide advice. I'll repeat what I said earlier. The party's position in past defeats has been to change leaders. I don't think that's always the smartest thing to do. And if you look at these election results, there are some things we can take a lot of comfort from. The party made really significant gains. I just think it really is incumbent upon the party to look at why it didn't win. By the way, I don't think that is really a secret. I think those things are looking at us pretty clearly. To admit those things and make the adjustments necessary. And if we do that, there's no reason the party can't return to office in the near future. As I say, my view is the party should have won all of the last three elections.
Yeah, at least, the seat count went up, but not sufficient enough.
Right.
So, last two more questions. It's nice to talk about diversifying, opening up new markets for Canada. However, our relations with three of the top 5 economies, namely US, China, and India, are not very good, to put it very mildly. The other two, Japan and Germany, came calling, and we sent them back empty-handed not too long ago. So what are Canada's options, really?
Well, as I said, look, the US relationship is stressed. It's not our fault, but it is. And that's going to be difficult, I think, as long as Mr. Trump remains president for the next 3.5 years. The China relationship is also stressed. It could be improved, but there are real impediments to being too close to China for reasons we all understand. You're right. We can't be fighting with India unnecessarily. And we can't be turning away the Germanys, the Europes, and the Asias who are coming here looking to do business in Canada. We can't afford, as the previous government did, to tell them we don't want your business, go away. I mean, I talked to members of the German delegation when they came to Canada seeking a commitment to sell LNG.
Yeah.
The Germans knew that it's not something we could do overnight, but they thought we would make a commitment to do it long term. I can tell you, the German government were just flabbergasted when the government of Canada said we're not interested. Of course we should be interested. As I say, I think once again, I know it's still a Liberal government, but there is a real opportunity for Prime Minister Carney. He's indicated in the throne speech he wants to make changes, big changes, and frankly, I thought the throne speech, to be honest with you, was a kind of a repudiation of the entire last 10 years. Thought a lot of it I could have written myself. And if he follows through on that and makes these big changes with our economic relations around the world, then it would bode very well for his government and for the country.
Mm-hmm. And I know your views on monarchy as well, as King Charles was here. We have spoken about it at previous interviews as well. I think it was during your time that the Canadian Air Force and Navy, the word royal was added.
Was reinstated.
Reinstated
Yeah.
by you. So now, because of this recent visit, we still again hear this discussion about how relevant monarchy is, if we should still have a Governor General, a King of UK as King of Canada. Do you think time has come to open that discussion up, or no?
No, not at all. I think the monarchy serves Canada very well. What is the purpose of the monarchy? We have a parliamentary system. And in a parliamentary system, unlike a presidential system, the person with the executive, day-to-day executive power of the government is the Prime Minister. But the Prime Minister is not the head of state. The Prime Minister is the head of a political party. He is the head of a partisan administration. And while the Prime Minister has enormous power, the Prime Minister is not treated as if he represents the country. He is treated as a public servant of government who needs to be put under intense scrutiny. Instead of making him the head of state, we have a head of state that is to rise above politics and partisanship. And the monarchy, at very little cost to us, performs that function extremely well. It takes that head of state role above partisan politics, and it does so very effectively. I'm not I know there were some people in my government were huge royalists who really were into kind of the royal family and all royal goings on. I'm not. I'm a practical monarchist. I support the monarchy because it works, because it performs its function well, and it's also part of our history and traditions. Canada has been a monarchy ever since our very first governor, Samuel de Champlain, in 1608. And, as I say, you don't change something that works well, and I think right now we're seeing examples of, when we look at how politics is conducted here compared to the United States and transitions in power, I think we're actually seeing that our system works pretty well by comparison. So this is not the time to make changes to the system for no apparent reason.
So last question. We have talked about all kinds of global issues, and I can go on and on, as you know, but the dinner is waiting, and I know you have to go as well. So tell us a bit about your life post PMO. What are you up to right now, and what are you looking forward to next? Not just work-wise. I mean, I know you are a very much sought-after speaker. You are on various boards, global bodies, and all that. So not work-wise, but your personal interests, hobbies, things that you have always loved to do but were not able to do before, that you can do now. And lastly, tell us something about you that most people still do not know.
Oh, don't people know everything about me now? They probably know more than they want to know.
Everyone has some secrets.
Yeah, well, we don't tell the secrets for sure. I don't know what. I'll just tell you a couple things. You said I am very busy in business. My firm, Harper and Associates, has spawned a series of businesses which have about 50 employees. I spend most of my time in the business in the investment world with our own investment fund, which is actually based in Miami, and with relationship with various investment funds around the world. And of course, I chair AIMCO, which is the Alberta government's pension and sovereign wealth fund. So that's kind of what my business focus is, and I'm on a plane in a few hours to Mexico for that business. Look, I've spent some time, as you know, since I left office doing some writing. I produced a small, but it turned out very well-timed book recently, Flags of Canada, from Sutherland Press. Available, I was going to say available at bookstores near you. I think it's actually sold out, but it will be available again shortly, so think about getting your copy of that. And the other thing people may not know is I've been working on my memoirs, which will come out this year. So keep your eyes open for that, and I hope that I will be able to play a role in helping Canada get its relationship with India back on track.
Wonderful. So I remember one event where you sang very, very well. For a few seconds, I thought of getting a guitar here, but then I thought you will hit me with the same guitar. So I resisted, but I know you have many, many other talents that people don't know. But anyway, have a big round of applause for this fireside chat.
Thank you very much.
For joining us tonight and for giving us so much time, for meeting with people at the reception as well, and for the excellent speech. So we look forward to a lot more contribution from you in Canada, on Canada-India relations, and on global issues. Thank you very much.
Actually, sir, if I can request you to stay back on stage. Actually, if we can stay back on stage, because we're about to invite the rest of the award recipients on stage to take a photo, and if I can ask the team to remove the chairs, that would be great. Right? So the team can remove the chairs. Where's our production team? Thank you. And I'd like to invite all of tonight's award recipients back on stage, along with the Acting High Commissioner, Mr. Chinmoy Nayak, for a group photo opportunity. And if you don't mind, can we get a photo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay. Fantastic. Right there. All right, we have all of our award recipients up on stage, along with the Honorable Stephen Harper, Vipul Jani. Do we have everybody up here? Okay. And I'm pretty sure our photographer is going to ask everyone to move back. If we can push back a little bit, just so that we can get everyone in frame. Maybe 2 more steps back. 2 more steps, everybody. No one's going to listen. Right? Okay. 2 more steps back. If we'll just take 2 more steps back, everybody, so we can get. I'm going to let the photographer take. All right. Why don't you come up over here a little bit, right? So we can do a nice little U. And push in closer, closer.
And we all can join with your applause, everybody, for appreciating all these award winners. They have done tremendous work in their industry. And let me tell you, we truly, truly, truly appreciate all your support to the community. Let's celebrate this proud moment together. One frame, many inspiring stories. Once again, congratulations on winning this prestigious award from IMEC.
All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you right before dinner is served of the donation cards on your table, the subscription cards on your table, and all right, we have a few photos that are going to be taken, and once this is done, I'm sure all of you are very hungry now, so dinner will be served.
And thank you so much, all the award winners, for joining here as well. It was a pleasure having you on the stage. Thank you. And now may I please request Jani family and all the volunteers, if you can join the stage as well. Jani family and all the volunteers, if you can join on the stage, please. And let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we will have one more very powerful and energetic dance performance right after it. So stay back. It's a finale performance coming up right after it. But right now, I would request Jani family and all the volunteers to join on the stage, please.
Oh, and they have, what's their performance? It is, it takes you through the years. Okay. Got your photo?
I did.
Right?
My brother's literally, they like, oh, send it. I'm like, no, we're not supposed to. Like,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I know. I think you did. Brother.
Yes, brother, yeah, no, my
No worries.
sorry. It was
No
like,
worries,
but
no
you
worries.
were the one, because like, you were the one who was taking the photos last year, right? My bad.
I was. Thank you for remembering. Oh, thank you so much. I did.
Good for you.
It took me 2 hours to figure out how centered and everything and the voice.
Yo, yours was the best video, I must say. That the videos, I'm like, guys, we're in 2025. Like, come on, let's do it. But
Frame. I know.
Right?
So
Frame
I
and
did work
voice.
on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. अच्छा कोई नहीं प्रोफेशनल
These are the great team of volunteers right here on the stage. We have supported and worked throughout the day, not just today, but from quite many days, everybody. So if you are hearing this, they deserve an applause as well. Thank you. Nag, if you can join in.
We definitely have a celebrity in our midst, so we're going to take a couple moments as well to get some photos done. And look, there's going to be a photo line. There's a photo line.
All right. We're gonna move forward for the next schedule. I would like to thank everybody. We're gonna move to the next schedule right now, and thank you so much, everybody. He has a flight to catch, everybody. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for joining here as well. I would like to escort you right down as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, please. Thank you so much, please. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was an honorable event right now. We enjoyed the award night. But let me tell you, now it's time for one more energetic dance performance from...
Absolutely. We have the Bollywood Dance School of Canada, and they're going to take you through a performance that spans yesteryears of Bollywood. I think we celebrated over 100 years in Bollywood recently, 2 years ago maybe. So they'll take you through all the decades of Bollywood. They'll light up this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be entertained by Bollywood Dance School of Canada.
Keep your flash cameras ready. They're bringing colors, glamour, and the true essence of Bollywood on the stage. Let's enjoy together.
In true Bollywood style, close your eyes and step into the golden era of love, where melodies were pure, romance was poetic, and jazz set the stage for magic. Let's rewind back to Bollywood's golden age of evergreen love.
प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है दिल। प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है, प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है दिल।
कहता है दिल रास्ता मुश्किल मालूम नहीं है कहाँ मंजिल। कहता है दिल रास्ता मुश्किल मालूम नहीं है कहाँ मंजिल।
प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है, प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है दिल। प्यार हुआ इकरार हुआ है, प्यार से फिर क्यों डरता है दिल।
पिया तू अब तो आजा, हे पिया तू अब तो आजा। शोला था मन कहती आके बुझा जा। तन की गाला ठंडी हो जाए ऐसे गले लगा जा।
I am a disco dancer. I am a disco dancer. I am a disco dancer.
ये रात में जो मजा है, मजा ये कुछ नया नया है। कि दिल को आज क्या हुआ है कि झूमता ही जा रहा है। झूम 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 बाबा, झूम 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 बाबा, झूम 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 बाबा।
Pyar, Mohabbat, Magic. The 2000s redefined romance with grand gestures, open arms, and melodies that stole hearts. Let's relive the SRK love era in true Bollywood style.
कोई मिल गया,
कोई मिल गया।
मुझको क्या हुआ है, क्यों मैं खो गया हूँ। पागल था मैं पहले या अब हो गया हूँ।
बैठी है निगाहें और बिखरी है बात, तुमने बनाया है क्या अपना ये हाल।
कोई मिल गया,
कोई मिल गया,
मेरा दिल गया,
मेरा दिल गया।
क्या बताऊँ यारो,
क्या बताऊँ यारो,
मैं तो हिल गया।
मैं तो हिल गया।
कोई मिल गया, मिल ही गया, अरे मिल ही गया। गोरी 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 गोरी, कभी कभी कहीं कहीं चोरी चोरी, छुप छुप के तुम मिला करो, प्यारी प्यारी बातें बातें किया करो। पर यूं ना मिलना किसी से कभी हमारे सिवा।
गोरी 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 गोरी, बोले बोले गए तुम गोरी गोरी। देखो देखो हम दोनों मिलते हैं, सुन सुन दिल की चुप्पी पे है। पर सुन नहीं पाए इन्हें ना कोई हमारे सिवा।
गोरी 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 गोरी, कभी कभी कहीं कहीं चोरी चोरी।
गोरी 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 गोरी, बोले बोले नहीं नहीं गोरी गोरी।
Fast forward to the present, and the South Asian music has evolved into an explosion of fusion, energy, and unstoppable swag. Let's check out some of the biggest hits of this decade.
It's not the end yet. Picture अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त.
तू मेरी खामोशी है इंडिया तू मेरी मदहोशी है Miss Worldwide तू मेरा है अफसाना Making me so happy shaking my body Let's set the world on fire No so hard with me गोली गोली सीने मर जावे मैं मर दे slowly slowly जैसे नाग लड़ जावे नी तू yes you blow me away गल सुन ले नारे आग लगा दुनिया में जो तू मेरी हो जावे मैं तू रहती है I wanna make you crazy तारी करती है make you my daily I keep praying all day all night long Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 1 2 3 go Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Where she at? I'm searching for this fine shorty And it ain't like I've been getting naughty I'm for you, you know I don't play that Cause I mean it when you hear me say that Man, he's searching for this fine shorty In my world, the number one party Everywhere she make it go crazy Got to get me, yes, my lady
Close your eyes.
Fantastic, fantastic. So wherever you are, if you heard the music, let me tell you, some of the power-packed performers were dancing amazingly on the stage. So right now, if you're hearing, everybody please, come on, make some noise for Bollywood Dance School Canada, right there on the stage. And I would request Vipul Jani and Honorable Prime Minister Stephen Harper, if you can join on the stage once again, please. Along with that, we have Bollywood Dance School here, but we have Parth Dani is here as well. Parth, warm welcome on the stage. He is the heart, he is the soul for this beautiful evening and this amazing dance group. If you really enjoyed the performance, one more time everybody, please cheer up for Bollywood Dance School Canada. And the whole production is done by Alokik Nayak as well. Nayak production as well on the stage. Congratulations, Nayak, for joining here as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nayak Production, for your support and this amazing work. Today's production is done by Nayak Production in the house. And well, ladies and gentlemen, dinner is being served right now. Dinner is being served at your place. Enjoy your dinner, enjoy the music. Thank you for having us. Thank you for joining here as well.